Hi everyone, it's Funke here. I am a multidisciplinary abstract artist that explores the themes of identity, culture, transformation, and mental health. And today, I'm at the Darlington Library with the gallery manager, Stephen, here. Stephen, please, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Stephen Wiper. I'm Creative Darlington Manager for Darlington Borough Council, and curating the art gallery at Darlington Library is one of the duties that I have within that role.
Let's start with history and the hidden gems. Many people walk past Darlington Library without realizing how much history it holds. What is one thing that amazes people when they come to the gallery or the library?
I think in part it's the Pease family and everything that a local company of entrepreneurs that they did for the town and how beautifully they've decorated the building. I think it's always nice coming into a public space where it's got a degree of splendour and a degree of not just utilitarian, but something that's going to lift your spirits. And I think they've paid particular attention to that in the design of the building.
Yeah.
So I think just how beautifully decorated, and also the amount of care that's gone into the building.
Yeah.
And we've fortunately had it restored recently with support from the council, and have brought it back to some of its wonders. So all these kind of effects on the roof around here and all the colour, it's just brought it back to its sort of sparkling best, really.
I must say, like, when I came into this space, it's really welcoming, nicely put together. So yeah, it's a nice space. About art and community connection, the library is not just a place for books, it's also a place to showcase history and art. How do you see art exhibitions? How does this support artists and the young people and underrepresented artists?
One joy about the library, I think it's a place where people come to learn and explore. And in that space, art's a big part of that as well. And I think the good thing with services across the library, because it's one building, but there's all sorts of different services here. We get a children's library, we have local studies that has a really big resource of kind of the records and history of the town. And we also have a new space called The Hive that's got all sorts of creative equipment that Arts Council helped us support, where people can come in and try, use digital sewing machines and filmmaking techniques and animation. So I think what we try to do is reach out, encourage new people in, encourage people to try different things while they're here. And I think as well, because there's so many different resources here, we can cross over. So often if I've got an artist in and they've got a proposal that they want to explore a certain aspect of Darlington's history. So we had a great exhibition about 2 years ago now called People, Place and Living Memory, where they were looking at kind of female campaigners, and they wanted to look at Elizabeth Pease, who did a lot around kind of anti-slavery. And they went through to the library and had all the local studies expertise, and were able to get research help and kind of explore. But I also think with history, it's important that, we're not just focusing on the past, you're seeing it as a continuum, because when they built the library, they weren't just doing it to preserve the past, the Quaker benefactors. They were wanting the people who are living today to have the richest, fullest lives. So we're trying to do that to a degree too.
Oh, that's nice. So there are so many exciting upcoming events, exhibitions and shows. Would you like to tell us about an upcoming event?
Yeah, I mean, we have obviously the big thing in 2025 for Darlington and Tees Valley and County Durham is the Stockton and Darlington Railway Bicentenary. It's we're describing it as the birthplace of the modern railway system, because in 1825, the locomotion number 1, it carried both freight and passengers, and with the Stockton and Darlington Railway, you were getting ticket offices, restrooms in stations. It was kind of a development that people in sort of putting on a similar scale almost to the development of the internet now, in that it helped people connect, travel more widely, and enable a bigger exchange of ideas. So this S&DR 200 festival's a big thing, but we've also got exhibitions here in the art gallery that are on rail themes. So this coming Saturday, we've got one called On Track by a group called Darlington Stitch and Create. That 40 people have been working on textile artworks, and over the last 4 years, so a lot of work's gone into this exhibition, and there's all manner of kind of great things that are informed by our railway heritage, but not just kind of focused on the past, looking very much towards the modern day and also where we might go in future.
That seems really exciting. We also talked about the upcoming art history event. Can you shed more light to it, please?
Yeah, I mean, we've got, certainly in terms of the coming years, we want to do some activity to celebrate kind of Black History Month. We've got an event that's been curated by the Arthur Wharton Foundation, and he was the first Black professional footballer in England, and he started his career in Darlington, which it's never been the Man United of its times, but it's always been, that's one thing we can be proud about as a club, to have Arthur Wharton playing for us. And now that he's passed away, we've got an event happening at Hopetown, Darlington in October, where the Arthur Wharton Foundation are going to do a Songs of the Railroad. So they're going to get lots of artists, bands, particularly given the kind of tradition of like songs like Last Train to Georgia and all those kind of rail-related classic songs. We're going to have a big event like that at Hopetown, Darlington. It's going to be a free musical event, particularly with Black artists and bands, but also other artists and bands who just from the region, really, to give a showcase.
These upcoming events, how do they help amplify diverse voices within the local art scene?
Yeah, I mean, we've got plans to have a kind of an art exhibition focused primarily on Black artists. That would be in 2027, and we want that to coincide with Black History Month. And I'm aware myself that we largely program in terms of, we have some themes, so we've had quite a lot of exhibitions that have explored the connections between visual arts and literature, whether that's writing, poetry, or the library function, just because the arts gallery is based in a library, and that seems something that we can explore and celebrate, really. But we haven't had a massive amount of approaches from Black artists. I had a massive amount of solo shows, and I was aware that was something I should be addressing and trying to put more focus on. So we're hoping in 2027 to have a show that's exclusively like Black artists, just to celebrate that angle, really. We'd be working with partners who have got better networks, better contacts than I have myself here. But it's a way of kind of starting to open up those conversations a little bit more, and I think that's an important thing that we're wanting to address.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Last question is about the future vision of Darlington Library and Gallery. If you could describe your vision for the gallery, the vision for the role in arts and culture over the next 5 years, what would it be?
I think it's important that we involve people more fully. We try and get a broader representation, and that we always also keep the customer and the visitors to the library. Customer's probably the wrong word for a library user. But I sometimes think, and this is just a personal view with galleries, that sometimes a gallery can be associated with a particular art style or a particular way of doing things. We've overcome that to some degree because we're inviting invitations from different groups, but because our networks are limited, you don't always get a full, as full of connections and as diverse a program as you might hope. What we want is shows here that are suitable for family audiences, because we don't have stewards on the door. People of all ages can use the gallery, so it needs to be like family friendly. But we can still have some quite rigorous content here. So we've had shows exploring kind of climate change. We've had exhibitions, tackling the role of women campaigners in terms of social good. So we want to have things that are addressing current issues, but things that are going to appeal to the public and hopefully have a broader kind of involvement from a bigger section of the community than hitherto. So I think there's always a tension, but that's what our vision would be. Okay. I suppose one final thing, I would also like to think we could keep helping artists build their practice and get a showcase, because I'd studied fine art in the past. I'm aware that if you're not showing your work, it's a bit like a note that's not fully resonating, you can't fully appreciate, and sometimes get that valuable feedback and seeing the work in a different context. So hope to keep being able to offer artists locally, because the Tees Valley's doing fantastic in that respect, and the North East region as a whole. It's just, I'm always aware there's more demand for exhibition space than we've actually got to offer. So if we can keep working that in a slightly more open way, because you've always got to be self-conscious, and I'm aware we've not, you're never going to be able to do something perfectly. But I think particularly with black artists, we need to offer more.
More opportunities. Thank you so much for your time, Stephen. It's been such an honor for you to share your vision with us and telling us how the gallery is going to help underrepresented artists in the Northeast and give us the opportunity to showcase our work, and how the gallery plans to explore different visions to help the community to spark conversations. Thank you so much, and it's been an honor and a privilege being here with you today. And until next time, guys, bye.